Very last minute, but we decided to hop on and record tonight so we could put something out. We're trying to get back to some sort of semi-consistent routine here.
Yeah.
So this will keep us there.
I think we say that at the beginning of every episode we post it every 3 weeks or so.
I'm not going to talk about it anymore then. That's the last time I mention it.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Turns out me and Colin had to start working a lot harder recently.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that or if it's the hours and hours of Instagram content you've been recording, but we're both pretty busy.
Potentially. I have a system for that, though. I take less time doing all of that than I do for this little bit of time we put together here on the podcast.
I doubt that. 30 minutes on a podcast, it takes you less than 30 minutes to pump out all those reels.
All right, let's just make it known Colin's a little salty because he doesn't got it.
I'm not salty. I'm realistic because I've made reels with you and I know how many takes it takes to just get them. But it's not even just the editing. Or are you just one and done now? You just got it down?
No, I do like 40 at a time.
Yeah. So how long does that take to do 40 at a time?
Took me 2 hours last time.
You can record 40 worth in 2 hours, and then he just edits them all.
Then I hand them off.
Nice.
Yeah. See, systems and processes.
Yeah.
And then I don't think about it until it's too late, and then I panic record again.
Well, for your reels?
Yeah.
I think since in the last few months, I was trying to do some stuff with social media, and then I just fell off. And in the meantime, you've gotten on it, and it seems to be working. I saw you had one that hit like 4 million views.
Yeah, one was currently at 4.3. I'm still seeing people repost it. It's like one of those meme ones that you would have never expected to kind of preach the post everything and something will go off. That's one of the ones I would not have expected. And then I had another one that I almost didn't post because like this is kind of dumb, and it's got like 400,000 views, and it shows that views doesn't do a whole lot for you.
I know it's so funny. Like I messed around with TikTok for a little bit, and one of the first videos I posted was like 220,000 views or something. Eventually, it took a while to get there, and I was like, oh man, this is it. Like I've got it figured out. And then I would like post something else. I'd be like, oh, this is so good. Just flop. And but yeah, it's just like, and then after a while, I think with all those views, I think I have 150 followers on TikTok.
So I don't get it. I don't get any of it.
Yeah,
apparently it's supposed to pay off at some point. We'll see when that happens. We thought that about the podcast also. We'll see when that happens.
Yeah, well, I feel like this is at least, especially for us now with the way things have been going in our personal lives and work lives and everything. A lot of times this is the only time you and I actually chat throughout the week. So this is good in that respect. I feel like the social media stuff does pay off, but you have to do it for a long time and you have to be very consistent. And if you do that, then it does work. I just don't have the time and it's just the energy. I just don't have the energy to do it right now. So I've just kind of fallen off on that, which I'm actually totally okay with. Jen, in the meantime, has deleted all social media from her phone. And like, I think social media affects people differently. I can have it on my phone. I can look at it. I cannot really be affected by it. Not to say that I don't waste a lot of time doing it, but it doesn't kind of negatively affect me in the same way that it does certain people, Jen being one of them. And she's had it off, and she is just like, she said herself that she feels like just so much better not having it on her phone, not constantly checking it, not constantly worrying about what's going on. Now, I think the other side of that is like, because we've become so used to it, that's kind of how we maintain social connections and everything. So I think that part of it's a little weird for her, trying to figure out how do you stay connected with people. And it's definitely more of an effort because you can't just spam people reels all day, which she didn't really do anyways. But like if I got rid of social media, there would be several people that I would probably not communicate with as much via multiple reels a day. But it's an interesting way we've adapted now with this social media stuff to communicate with people. I definitely think a detox is good every once in a while. I can't even say that I'm detoxing though. I'm just not posting anything.
Still consuming.
Yeah, I mostly just check messages from other people to see what reels they sent me and then watch those, and then I get off it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I got this new app that it turns off my ability to see anything after 30 minutes. So if I've been on Instagram for 30 minutes, it locks me out. And there's no way to get back on. There's no code. It's one of those like intense ones because it's
not even a passcode.
There's no passcode. There's no way to get on.
Oh wow.
I'm sure there's a way, but it's too difficult for me to even try.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
It's hard for everybody.
yeah,
Well,
no,
I
it's
think.
no, I think it is. I mean, it's just become such a natural part of our lives. Like anytime you have a spare moment, I feel like I see everybody do the same thing. You know, you'd be on the elevator going down 3 stories and everybody pulls out their phone. Part of it is just because it's awkward, and I think people don't know how to communicate with each other nowadays because of it. And then
Yeah,
also it's just this force of habit that we have now to just open it. Like it takes a conscious effort for me not to just go to my phone whenever there's some amount of downtime. And I don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm just like, oh, ESPN. Let me just
yeah.
check the scores again when nothing's changed since last night.
Fantasy football is doing.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
rid of that. That was too much of a time suck for me.
nice. Yeah, I do try to every once in a while. I'll try to make like a little dad joke to some random stranger in the elevator. Now that you mention it, and my girls are always like, "Do you know him? Like, what? How do? That's weird. Why did you say something?" Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I try to practice that as well. I feel like I still am maintaining that small talk skill. I think small talk's big because it's yeah, it's a lost a dying art, I would say. But yeah, a lot of times it's just an awkward dad joke, and I'm okay with that. My kids aren't old enough to be embarrassed of me yet, so I'm okay.
Yeah. So last time
Um,
we ended after our at the end of our first mobile home deal, locked that one in, zero money out of pocket. We talked about how it was about $1,000 total out of pocket. Kind of one of those miracle deals where or not even a miracle deal, just one of those deals where the light went off and we kind of got it immediately addicted. We were already kind of addicted, and then the light bulb moment happened, and we're like, let's do a ton of this.
yeah, yeah. I think it was the light bulb moment. Initially, as we got the deal, there was that momentum and that excitement immediately after buying the deal, and then that led into that duplex that we mentioned last time from the same seller that we were able to buy on just a straight cash deal, and
Mm-hmm.
that led into that. But then I mean, between that deal that we bought in July of 2022 and our next mobile home park, it was close to about a year, I think,
Mm-hmm.
before it was about 9 months, I think, and not necessarily for a lack of trying. It was just, you know, we found that first one, and then we didn't really have a good system in place yet to find more mobile home parks. We were specifically wanting to find mobile home parks that were off market. So finding those, we didn't really know how to do that yet. I know at the time I think by then we had kind of fit into our roles of, you know, me handling deal flow more, you handling
Mm-hmm.
finance, and then Jen and I overseeing property management. But I think at that time
Mm-hmm.
we were talking with Zach, the same one who gave us kind of handed us that last deal, the first mobile home park. And when we were talking to him, I was asking him how he was finding deals, and he, I think, had a young guy working for him that was helping him find deals. But at the time, he told me about a hunting app that would show you who owned a certain property, and I was literally just getting on Google Earth. I would go on Zillow and I would search for mobile homes for sale, and then I would look up the address of the mobile home that was for sale, and then I would just get on Google Maps and I would search for the area, and I would try and find the area, pinpoint the location. Then I'd go on the hunting app so that I could get the tax ID information and the owner, and then I would go skip trace that. And it was a pretty long process. In the meantime, Josh being local in Wisconsin, you were driving, you know, wherever you were going to work, whenever you're driving
Mm-hmm.
around,
At this
you
point, I
were
was working at several different hospitals, so every time I drive anywhere new, I'd be on the lookout. As soon as I saw something, I'd ping it and send it to Colin.
yeah, I would
This
just
one
be
obviously wants to be sold.
whatever I was doing throughout the day, I would just randomly get text messages, and it would just be like a drop pin, and then I'd zoom in, and boom, sure enough, it's a mobile home park. And it's very obvious when you look at it in a map. It's very obvious when it's a mobile home park because it's those just rectangular shaped homes all in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing, and then I would go for the ones that you would send me. I would look them up, skip trace them, try and find the owners, and then cold call them. And this next deal that we came across was basically from that. It was a deal you had found driving to
Mm-hmm.
work. You had found the property. You had looked it up. Had you called them, or did you just send me the info?
No, I think I called them because there was this was when I was down in um like I don't know if am I able to say the city name, I guess. I don't know.
Are you talking
Fox
about
Valley area. I think we've
south of
actually
Green Bay?
we've said addresses on here, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah, south of Green Bay. I was going to work. Um, And I think I in at work one time it was slow or something, and I was just googling mobile home parks near me or whatever, or even like scrolling on the map, seeing if I saw something that, as you said, looks like a mobile home park. It's kind of obvious. And there was a few in the area that I called on. Some of them were like, "Oh, I just sold. You missed me by like 2 months," and I was like, "Dang it!" So then I'm like, "Let's do some more." I think I actually only called probably 3 or 4, as opposed to Collins like tons that he called. But this was one of the ones that I called, and then of course I got the person on the phone and then handed him off to Colin because he's much better at the actual chit chat and developing connections.
Small talk is actually, I get teased within the business about the connections that I form with people because you guys are always teasing me about, you would totally like go hang out, and I would go hang out with these people. I would take them up on their offer to go out on their boat in the summertime and have dinner and hang out by the lake because I just enjoy meeting new people, and so I would absolutely do that. So it's a very natural fit for me to just kind of be the door opener. And
Colin's the only reason that we have any connection with previous sellers, which has been very important, turns out. But yeah, Colin's the only reason that we actually have those connections still intact. Me and Jennifer
well,
both, we buy something, we're like, see ya, never, never see you again.
well, it's funny too, because speaking of previous connections with connections with previous owners, first mobile home park we got, right now we're in the process of refinancing that one, and
Mm-hmm.
that one was supposed to have closed. Well, our balloon payment was due. Our
July
balloon
7th.
payment was due July 7th, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of this year, and it wasn't our. Well, I mean, I guess it's our fault. We should have known better because this bank that we've been working with has historically been slow. So we should have started this process
Yeah.
probably in
Well,
February.
but to be honest though, like I did text the owner like, "Hey, any interest on extending that balloon, or do you want your money back?" And he didn't actually get back to me until June, and immediately we started the process.
Yeah, and
So
also
it's kind of on both of us.
yeah, and in the meantime, we were in the process of purchasing 3 other parks.
Yeah.
So we were going through that purchase process, which ended up being a nightmare. This bank is the only thing it has going for it is its terms, and that's the only reason we've stuck with it. And now we're kind of we're with them now, and we're so committed with them that we kind of have to keep going. And it's been great, but timing has been an issue as we've gone through these like purchase and refinance processes.
Mm-hmm.
But because we've maintained this connection with the previous owner, I mean, it's come up huge. I mean, actually that's probably, yeah, we should definitely talk about that, because I think a lot of people have that attitude of just like, I got the deal from this person, you know, that's it, we're done. In the case of that first park we bought, he is local, he's a contractor, and he has been a huge resource. I mean, you know, everybody always says, oh, if you ever need anything, let me know. But this guy actually means it. Stuff would happen. We'd call him, text him, whatever, because this was our first park. We're just figuring things out. And he would go out to the property. He would check on things for us. He would, you know, kind of advise us on things, give us contact information. And recently, as we brought 2 new homes in, I guess, yeah, you can kind of explain that more, because we were kind of in a time crunch as far as bringing the homes in and getting the slabs done.
Yeah. I mean, we were looking around for different people to pour slabs, and it was pretty expensive, and then couldn't find anybody that could do it on any sort of a timeline. And we had already given down payments, and they were delivering the homes. And there was some contingency in the contract that we signed that like each day that it was delayed, it was like another $25 or something like that. And we weren't trying to wait like a month to pay whatever 60 times 25 would be on like holding fees.
I'm not going to do that math right
Colin's
now.
got that. I know you got it.
I
Well,
can't.
anyway, so we basically texted him because he's a GC in the area, and basically said, "Hey, any interest in doing this? We're bringing in 2 new homes, and we're kind of on a time crunch." He's like, "Sure, no problem." And I don't know how quick he got them done, but it was like significantly faster than anyone else was willing to do. And he wasn't cheap, but I mean, it was a fair price based on the situation.
Well, yeah, he wasn't any more expensive than anyone else, and he did, knowing the park, he knew exactly what, because the homes needed some infill to level them so that they could get
Mm.
the trucks in to get the homes onto the slabs that were built. And again, this was more of like, probably if we had done a little more research, we would have known it's not as simple as just pouring the slab. But this is the first time we're doing infill. We'd never poured a slab in a park. And I had talked to the concrete guy. I've been in contact with him for the last year, and all he ever told me was, "Yeah, when you're ready to bring a home in, let me know and I'll pour the slab." So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, there's dirt. He's just going to come pour the slab.
I'll call you, pour it by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Deal.
And as it turned out, I called him and he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, have you done this, and like this whole list of things that I didn't even know we had to do." Again, I could have. Now with ChatGPT, you could just search, what do I need to bring in a slab? But I guess ChatGPT was around then too, but we weren't using it as much. But anyways, long story short, it wasn't as simple as just pouring the slab. And I think we reached out to another guy that was going to potentially do it. And that guy just straight up told me, when November 1st or 15th comes around, I'm out. I don't care what jobs are pending. I'm going to Arizona. He's some older dude, and he is not spending any time in the cold in Wisconsin anymore. So as soon as, like, I think it was November 1st, as soon as November 1st hits, he's out. He goes to Arizona. He's gone for 6 months. And he was basically just like, yeah, if I can't do it, I can't do it. Peace. So then, yeah, we went back to the previous owner, and he did all the excavation and prep work so that this other guy could come in and pour the slab. Long story short, we were able to get it done in time and get the homes in place and not pay those extra holding fees that we would have had to pay had we not been able to sort that out in that time crunch. So that was a huge bonus, in addition to several other things that he had helped us with, over the last couple of years. And then now, fast forward to this balloon payment that was due. He even told, or it was either him or his, girlfriend slash assistant, who told us that their lawyer was advising them to foreclose on us. And we've been communicating with them the whole time, so they know exactly what's going on. We've explained to them that we're working on this. The bank is the one that's holding things up. We're in the process of doing this. Meanwhile, we've kept our payments current. I had asked, like, hey, do you want us to catch up the payments that are overdue, since we haven't paid this off? And she said no. And then she came back a few days later, was like, actually, yeah, you do need to pay that off. So then we cut them a check, send it off. But because we've maintained that relationship with them, it's a very friendly relationship, rather than like this more like just strictly business. And as soon as we're late on the 8th, they're trying to or whatever the time period is, they're trying to foreclose on us. So a testament to maybe maintaining those relationships. It's worked out for us. So anyways, going back to this other deal.
Still friends with
Yeah.
the people we bought that from, or not even them, their parents.
Well, and it's funny too, because today I've been meaning to reach out to hold on, I got to plug something in really quick. So I've been meaning to reach out to the mom of the owners of that park regarding selling this new home that we now have in that park. And she messaged me today saying, hey, I saw that your new home is there. What's going on with that? Basically, are you ready for me to sell it? Which is great, because I keep forgetting to message her, and it's not quite ready yet. We still need to do some hookups and stuff anyways. But yeah, like, they're on it. They're right there. We in this park that we bought, that we haven't even talked about. So this park we bought was off market. Literally just found it by Josh kind of driving by or seeing it on the map. Skip tracing, which is just simply looking up the owner, finding the information just by Google search, and then you get a phone number. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not, but in this case, it was the right phone number. Josh got a hold of them and then pitched it off to me, and then I was able to call them back and start kind of working on the negotiations as far as whether or not they wanted to sell and the terms and all that. Coming off what we had just done with this first park, we were all hyped up on seller finance, and we're really like twisting their arm trying to get them to take the seller finance, but they weren't really interested in that. There is some level of convincing, I think, with people who aren't familiar with it. And I think they see a certain level of risk that they don't necessarily want to take on, when really there's, I don't know, would you say there's no risk?
I mean, I wouldn't say there's no risk, because we could do a terrible job of maintaining the park and then just ghost them, and then they get the park back in much less good condition than it was and when they first had it.
Yeah, no, that's, and I think that would be more of like a case in an actual, house or apartment. It's a little harder. I mean, you can definitely mismanage a park and
Or
have it go to,
I guess in my mind, we could come in, crank rents up, everybody leaves, and then we're like, oh, we don't want this anymore. And then they got it back. That I guess that would be like kind of the
yeah.
worst case
and
scenario.
and both these parks these first two parks that we bought, the owners were local, or at least semi-local, where they were going in regularly. They were checking on the park. They were making sure the park was clean. They were making sure all their rules were enforced and everything. So as new owners, especially managing remotely, one of the big difficulties is enforcing rules in the park. So if we came in and yeah, either had a bunch of vacancies for whatever reason, let the park kind of go to crap in terms of rules and just trash buildup and all that, then the risk would be that they would inherit back a much worse park than they had sold us.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, they could just foreclose on us at any point if we ever defaulted. But I think a lot of times too, people are like, "No, I'm selling. I just want to be done with it. I don't ever want to get this park back. I just want the money." So
Well, and I mean, in their defense, like a lot of people would rather get $300,000 now as opposed to $500, 500,000 over the next 10 years.
yeah, yeah, and so anyways, that was the case with them. So we were really pushing for the seller finance with these guys. They didn't want it. One of the things that we do when we make offers, I think that we learned, we probably learned just over the course of time, just through different podcasts, is we present several different offer situations. Usually it's three. It's like a cash offer, it's a finance offer, and then it's a seller finance offer. And obviously the cash offer is going to be our lowest offer.
Hmm.
It's going to be significantly lower than what the park's worth or what their asking price is if it's listed. And then the finance offer is going to be closer to whatever the appraised value is or whatever the listing price is. And then the seller finance offer can either be, the listed price or slightly higher, even just to get those terms that you really want to make the deal, sweeter for you. I think it was it Pace Morby or Jerry Norton said, you give me, like, I'll give you your price if you give me the terms. And so that's what we go for. So in this case, we didn't get the seller finance, but Josh, what was the deal we worked out on this one?
Well, it was just a financed offer, but we actually were selling another property at the time, and we did what's called a 1031 exchange, which is basically delaying any taxes on the sale of a property when you buy a similar or like kind property. So we sold an investment property that I think that was the 3 unit that we had. It
No, it was the duplex.
was a duplex. Okay, so we sold a duplex.
Oh, no,
Made a,
no, no, no. It was the duplex we sold first and paid back your HELOC, which
oh,
was
that's
the
right.
which was the money that you had used so that we could buy that set of properties. And then this was the fourplex, which we actually sold to your parents.
That's right.
And like, I laugh when I say it just because it's kind of funny because it all just kind of stays in the family or whatever. But that was actually, it was a kind of one of those like Frankenstein fourplexes that was a house that was converted. The meter, it didn't have separate meters, so there were some funky things with it. But all
Hmm.
in all, I mean, we had, raised rents, done some work on some of the units, had it full, had it renting for significantly more than we bought it for. So when they bought it, it was actually it's a pretty
Hmm.
good deal for them when they bought it, and it gave us the money to then use for this 1031 exchange.
Hmm. So this one, I think we also zero money out of pocket because that the profits that we made from the selling the first property covered the 20% down payment that we needed for this mobile home park, and so like kind of zero money out of pocket. For us, it was actually zero money out of pocket because it was equity from a previous building that we sold. So another zero money out of pocket deal.
Yeah. And then this one, we had our things in order. So our appraisal check actually was cashed and went through. So it wasn't zero out of pocket. I think we paid appraisals, we paid inspections. Again, this one was septic and well. Had a pretty, it's actually recently I was out at the park with Brandon from the property management team, and it's got a pretty extensive little septic mound and filtration system that I don't understand for the most part. But we met with, it's cool going out and actually going to the parks because we're communicating with these guys all the time via text and phone calls and emails, and then to go there and meet them in person. One, it's always interesting to see what they look like because you're talking to these people on the phone and you have these pictures of them in your head, and then you meet them, and sometimes they look exactly like you thought, and sometimes they look completely different. But this guy we always refer to as our star vendor. So shout out to Branch River Testing. If you're in the Green Bay area and you have any septic or well needs, hit them up. They are the best. But yeah, this guy's always just been a rock solid vendor for us. And so we were able to meet him there. He was able to go through, we were having some well issues at the time. He was able to go through that with us. He was able to go through the whole septic system, how it all works, what needs to be done. As it turns out, there was a pump that needed to be replaced. So he was able to go through that with us. And then we met with another plumber who had done some excavation work for us and was trying to sell us on ripping up a bunch of pipes and replacing them, which eventually we will do, but at this point we're holding off on. It was water lines.
It doesn't make
Uh,
doesn't make financial sense at this point.
no, and And as it turned out, the more we were talking, it sounded like we'd already piece by piece replaced a lot of them over the years, or he had, even with the previous owners. So as we're kind of talking it through with him, it sounded like we were actually in better shape than we had initially thought going into it. So at this point, we're holding off on that. But yeah, it's always nice being able to actually go out and visit the properties and
Mm.
kind of see things, see what they look like.
Branch River, that's the one that does the testing for the one up in like an hour or actually 2.5 hours further north than that, right? So they cover a
Uh,
huge area of Wisconsin, actually.
Yeah, they cover a pretty good size area. They do, and so when you're on a well and you have septic, well, the well especially, the Wisconsin state of Wisconsin requires that you do well water testing annually, and there's like a whole process you have to. Again, when we bought the park, the owner walked us through how he does it, and we've never done it since then. But there's like a whole process where he torches the water line to basically sterilize it, so you're getting a good sample when it comes out, and then he collects the sample, you have to package it up, and then you have to ship it off. We've never done it because we just hired these guys and they just go do it for us. And that's, I mean, that's another testament to remote management. It's definitely something we could be doing ourselves, but even for Josh to drive from Green Bay to this specific park, to these two parks, to do that testing, let's say that would take him what, that would be what, for the two parks it'd be a total of maybe 6 hours of drive time.
Yeah, 5 hours of drive time.
Stand by while Josh counts to 5 with his fingers.
And I've never done this before, so there's like a decent chance that I would get it wrong and have to do it again.
Yeah. And it would take him a long time to do it just because he doesn't know what he's doing. So let's just say all in all, it took him 7 hours.
Hmm.
I mean, the amount of money we can both make in 7 hours is way more than we pay to get this done. So it makes sense to have them do it. And again, they are professionals. They know exactly what they're doing. They send it in, they do the testing, it goes straight to the state of Wisconsin. It's all taken care of. We don't even have to think about it. And that's perfect for me. And then they, at the same time, they'll inspect the septic tanks. If they need to be pumped, we just had them pumped. And if you're interested in a mobile home park and you're wondering what it costs to pump a septic system for a 19 pad mobile home park, we currently have 17 homes occupied. We have one that we just sold that's being remodeled, and then we have the new one we brought in, and we just had to pump it. And I think we last pumped it a year ago, and it was just under $1,000 to pump the septic system for basically a 17 pad mobile home park, or 19 pad with 17 tenants.
A yearly-ish situation.
Yeah, I think initially they were looking at 1 to 2 years, but now they're recommending we do it every year. But I think everybody's very, you always hear, oh, city water, city sewer, and I completely agree. If you can hit that, we will talk about city water and city sewer later. It's not as hands off as you might have thought, because we definitely thought it was, just from everything we've heard online and other podcasts. There's still a lot involved with that, but yeah, septic and well has not been that bad. I mean, for reference, we had to replace the well pump at our first mobile home park, and that was $8 or $9 grand. We just had to replace a big water filtration system at that same mobile home park. That was about $3,500 roughly. So those are relatively large capex expenses, but that's something we won't have to do, probably for another 5. The well pump, I think they go for a while, and depending on what kind you get and how you maintain it, they're fine for a while. And then the septic tanks, as long as you maintain them, and we have the mound system, as long as that all gets maintained, they can go for quite a while. So it's not anything you should don't let that be a deal breaker for you. I would say if you're looking at mobile home parks, you can definitely still make it work. Just be aware of that, factor into your costs, make sure you don't skip inspections, get the inspections, and just know what you're getting yourself into as far as maintenance. And if you're in the Wisconsin area, Branch River Testing.
We're not paid for that ad.
We are not. They're just good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to rep for people that are just good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one was cool. It was a new strategy that we had. 1031, much like seller financing, was it was talked about by so many different investors as a powerful strategy for purchasing parks and avoiding taxes. And we hadn't done it yet, so this is the first one we did. Oh, what was the there's certain fees that you have to pay though for that 1031 exchange. How much was that?
Yeah, so you have to go through like a what is it called? It's like a verified 1031 exchange portal or program or something. So you just find somebody who does 1031 exchanges in the state that you're working in, or so that's what we did. I think it was like $1,000 or $1,500 to do that.
Yeah.
But it saved us on, I don't know, it saved us more than that in taxes. So that's why we went ahead and proceeded with that.
Yeah.
Depending on the deal, some people might just pay taxes and keep going, but for us, it made sense.
Well, and at the time, we didn't have these other tax saving strategies that we now have. So now it would maybe be a little different. But at that time, we didn't have any other way to kind of,
Yeah, avoid the
put off the
taxes.
taxes. Yeah. I don't want to say avoid. Avoid sounds like we're like
delay.
not,
Yeah,
yeah,
delay.
delay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we will absolutely pay back these taxes if we sell these properties that we currently own. The plan is not.
Yeah. But just delay it so long that the government just forgets about it.
Yeah, you can delay it until you die, and then once we die, then that tax delay goes away.
I wonder right now. So how does it work? Right, because currently the government is still shut down.
Let's sell them right now.
That's what I was going to say. So if we sold everything right now, would it just slip through the cracks?
Genius.
I wonder what kind of.
Hopefully the government's shut down by April 14 next year.
Yeah.
No chance.
I wonder how many events like that are going on right now, and what the repercussions of that will be. As far as that's something we should look into. Like, how does that?
I don't think it matters until you report your taxes in the April deadline or whenever you file.
Right. Okay. They would never shut down around tax season.
They would never.
Oh, actually, did they just shut down immediately after like the October 15 date?
Maybe.
I think they did.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. That is sneaky. Between April, so April like 15 to October 15, no chance of a government shutdown. But it must have been
October 1 actually is when it says.
It's been shut down for a month?
That's what it says.
All right, so they're not as sly as we thought they were.
Phew. Whoever deals with the tax filings, a lot to deal with when they come back.
Well, but also just what does that mean for people, who are just waiting for their either tax returns or I don't know, this government shutdown thing's a bit of a mess.
We have a friend that's in the Marines right now, and the bank that he uses is actually still paying him, knowing that the government will back pay as soon as they're reopened.
Oh,
not all of them do that, but some
yeah, I was gonna say I hope that's the case for most of these people because, yeah, that's tough. Especially, I mean, there's a lot of good benefits for being a government worker, but I don't think your pay is, you're not getting the highest pay out there. So
right.
these people need that money.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sure there's some. What is it called when you like target people that are in need? Predatory. There's probably a lot of predatory situations going on right now because of it too.
Yeah. We say when there's blood in the water. Yeah. So that first deal. So just to recap, I guess we didn't really talk about the deal or what it was, but it was a 19 pad mobile home park, septic and well. There was a large storage shed that they had built on it. Oh, and then this was something else. As we were going through negotiations with them, the owner's parents had built this shed for their own personal storage because they live close by. And to kind of sweeten the deal for them and to just get it across the finish line, we offered to let them use the shed rent free for I think like a year.
Mm-hmm. It was over a year.
Yeah. Just so they would have time to make a decision. When the year came to an end, we reached out to them, gave them the opportunity to continue renting it for whatever, a reasonable price. And they chose not to. It sat for a while we were trying to decide what we were going to do with it, and eventually went back to the parents, who are both realtors, and they ended up leasing that shed out for us, just for like a leasing fee of 1 month's rent. And again, just building your team when you're doing things remotely. Like, yeah, Josh is close, but as we talked about earlier, very busy. So this park's about an hour from home one way. So just to get down there to meet people, for showings and that kind of stuff, even just to go down there to take some photographs, it could be weeks before you could do that. So to pay this person 1 month's rent, which it's a few $100, that's nothing to just be able to just be hands off and have somebody else handle it. And boom, now we got renters in there. So
that's it. Second mobile home park, little money out of pocket. I'm going to stop saying no money out of pocket because I always say that and you always correct me.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I just don't want to. I don't want to like just say things for the sake of them sounding good.
Yeah.
and
Well,
and I know you're
that's
not.
what got us sign up in all these expensive coaching programs.
Well, yeah, yeah. I just, I think we're not trying to like downplay what we've done because we've done some cool stuff, and I think we've, the portfolio we've built is pretty good, and there has to be some level of skill involved to get to where we have, but
Mhm.
it's just, we're not trying to sell this as like, like, oh yeah, if you just do this one magic thing, then all of a sudden all this stuff works out and it's perfect and it's easy and there's no
No.
problems. It's hard and there's like a lot to it, but it's totally worth learning it and it's totally worth doing it. And if you haven't gotten started yet, you absolutely should, because like where we'll be in another 5 or 10 years, we'll probably still be recording this podcast. Maybe it'll
So
be paying for itself by then.
hopefully. And we're gonna get back on the consistency train also.
No,
Maybe.
there it is. There, we said it at the beginning and we're saying it at the end.
That
And we'll say it
was me
next
this time.
episode.
Darn. Uh,
I swore it
yeah, but
off.
and find yourself to somebody to do this with. Because we've said multiple times before. I don't know if Colin still feels the same way. I definitely still do. If I was doing this alone, would not be still doing it. It's a lot of work. You need to share the workload for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I wouldn't change it. I've always said that. I stand by it. I would change some things up in the way of like how efficiently we've done things.
Yeah.
But it's good.
I think that's our fault for just enjoying each other's conversation sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Every time we come out, well, again, back to the reels. The reason I think it takes forever to make reels is because every time we get together, we're
For
like, okay,
sure.
we're gonna make like 30 reels, and we make maybe two over the course of like 4 days
Because we're hanging out.
because we're just having fun.
But
And
now
that's the
I got a
problem.
system now. So when you actually come out, we're gonna actually get 2 reels done.
But it'll only take us 20 minutes to do those two reels as opposed to 4 days.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah, I'm good with that.
All right.
So, all
Well,
right then.
like and subscribe. We're gonna talk about our next few mobile home deals on the next one,
Yeah,
hopefully. But yeah, see you
hopefully
next
next
week.
week. Yeah,
Like, subscribe, comment, share, enjoy.
and follow the Lifestyle CRNA on Instagram.
Yeah, and call him Prom Doctor if you want to see a post every 6 months.
I'm coming back one day.
See ya. All right.